Hey, Rose here with another online dating tip for you, and today I'm going to give you reasons why you should not be speaking to your parents about that guy you are speaking to on a dating app.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.
Okay, so when it comes to online dating, you need to understand that a lot of these people you're speaking to are speaking to other people as well, okay? And we already covered the issue of somebody coming to you and telling you like really big things, and then you're hooked, and then you think this is it. You know, talking about, oh, I want to come to your country, and I want to get married, and I want to process visa for you so you can join me in my country. I want to have babies with you. In fact, I want to leave you pregnant. I think you should speak to your parents about me so they know about me. And now you get so excited because for you, you are thinking in our African mentality. Okay, and this is something we have covered a lot here on this channel. Yeah, you are thinking that you know, like when a guy you've been dating in an African sort of setting, an African guy, you're an African woman, and then you've been dating, and then it reached to a point where he's like, babe, can you, I think it's time you introduced me to your parents. This is something serious. Like, if he decides now he wants to officially be introduced to your parents, that means you're taking the next step, as we have said in a previous video. So now you are in that mentality. When you meet this foreigner on a dating site and he tells you, well, I think you should talk to your parents about me. I think you should introduce me to your parents. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is it, this is it. Not thinking that actually when he's talking about you know, that you should introduce him to your family, especially to your parents, he's not really thinking in a way that you're thinking. He's like, oh, the parents needs to know that I'm dating her. Okay, but you're thinking, oh, he wants to know my parents because he's planning to marry me. That's not how it works. And I think unless you are absolutely sure that this is the guy, I don't think you should get your parents involved, because once you get your parents involved, obviously now you have involved the whole family. Like if you tell your parents, you know, I have met this American guy, and you know, you need to know about him, and you're introducing him on a video call, or I have met this European guy, and you're introducing him on a video call. Now, the parents are not the ones who have been speaking to this guy. You're the one who has been speaking to this guy. So when you bring them in, they assume everything is set. Like, okay, we are planning this wedding. Okay, when is he coming? And he has told you that, oh, I'm coming next month, you know, I'm coming to meet them in person and everything. This is something that I have actually dealt with a lot, with ladies asking me, oh, Rose, what am I gonna do now? I already told my parents and now he's ghosted me. See, you shouldn't be playing with your parents like this. You shouldn't be getting your parents involved. You shouldn't be getting your family involved unless you are sure. And the thing is, a lot of you are introducing these men to your family and you have not met them in person. Like, he hasn't come and met you. So you are not even sure, like, if you really like this guy or he even likes you. Because we have said so many times, these things you're telling each other online, oh, and all these fantasies and things, that these stories you're telling each other, a lot of what you're saying is not true. It needs to be confirmed, okay? Because a lot of things that you have created in your mind, those are actually fantasies. The picture that you have created in your mind about this guy based on what he has told you, based on the conversations that you've been having online, all that needs to be confirmed, okay? And actually, I feel like you shouldn't be rushing things, you know, getting your parents involved, because to you think, oh, now he knows I have told my parents, so now he has to come through, like this is it. You cannot force somebody to come and marry you just because you have told your family or you have involved him in all kinds of things. Like, this virtual thing is a very sensitive and fragile issue. It's this relationship is very fragile, okay? And it doesn't take much for everything to crumble. As I said, there are a lot of doubts about this relationship. You're doubting yourself. You're like, even he himself is like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Going all the way to Africa? What's happening? He's talking to his friends. They're putting doubts in him. They're like, oh my God, you're dealing with scammers in Africa. He's talking to his family, and you're like, why do you have to go all the way to Africa? Like, there are so many beautiful girls. I'm gonna introduce you to Miss Amy. She's so beautiful and she's a nice girl. So you're constantly fighting to keep things afloat. So bringing other people into the mix is not a good idea. It's not a good idea, because also on your side, when you get people involved, they'll be like, oh, why are you waiting for this guy from America, from Europe? There are so many nice men in the church. Look at this young man. He's so good and he's interested. Talk to other people. I don't recommend you actually getting your parents involved, especially when you haven't even met. The first meeting hasn't actually taken place. Just relax, okay? Just relax. And I feel like these big plans that people make, I understand. Obviously, I was there. But for me, I didn't get anybody involved, okay? I did not get nobody involved whatsoever. So even as you make plans, I don't know, you're planning to get married, you're planning to do all kinds of things, I think you shouldn't be like making these big plans. Just plan, if you really are going to get married, just plan to go to the registry, get the marriage certificate, get the visa process going, and then later you're gonna now plan this big wedding, to include everybody. Because there are so many things that can go wrong also with big planning and everything. I feel like there are so many things that can go wrong when you're getting your family members and your friends and people who don't even like you, and you're sort of like hoping that they like you, but they actually don't like you, and you're getting them involved in all this, and it becomes such a headache, and then in the end it falls apart. It can fall apart. Because, as I said, this is a long distance thing. It's fragile. You are not even sure yourself about each other. You are not sure about him. He's not sure about you. Okay, I know you guys are like, oh my goodness, and we fell in love. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't sure myself anyway. You cannot be 100% sure when you're talking to somebody virtually. It's only when you meet somebody face to face. And actually, as I keep saying, it's only when you actually get to start living with somebody. That's when it hits you. That's when you're like, oh my goodness. Okay, let's see if I can handle this. Because you didn't get the chance to actually like spend time together. When you're dating the old-fashioned way, you spend a weekend together, you go on dates, you didn't get to do that. And even when he comes to visit you, the time is limited. Like, don't get your parents involved just yet. Take your time, get to know this person, let him come and see you, see how you feel, see how he feels. And then maybe if you're planning to get married and you really decide that in the first meeting when he comes to meet you, you're gonna go ahead and get married, I feel like you should just do a simple thing, get married, and then now when you have time to sit down and plan a nice thing and you can include all the people that you want to include, you can do that. But for now, just take it easy. That's my opinion. I don't know what you think about this. I would like to hear what you think in the comment section. Please leave your comments below. Let's see what you think about this, because I know a lot of you're like, no, if he's serious, I must tell my parents about it. It's not about telling your parents, okay? It's not that when you tell your parents, that's when you know he's serious, Okay, it's not even about him saying he's coming to marry you. How many couples have we seen, posting on social media, being all, oh, I'm picking up my husband from the airport, and this whole thing about my husband, and you're meeting for the first time. What, did you get married in the spirit? I'm picking up my husband from the airport, and then they come, they have the holiday together, and then later we find out they are not married, and they broke up and everything fell apart. That's because he told you he was coming to marry you so he can tie you up. Okay, so he knows that you are actually waiting for him. I told you about these people who come on holiday for sex tourism. So he's gonna create this relationship with you, and I'm coming to marry you, and I'm having babies with you, and tell your parents about me and everything. And you, because you're so excited as an African woman with our African mentality, you're like, oh my goodness, he's gonna marry me. He's planning how many babies we should have together. I must tell my parents about this. My parents already know about him, so this thing is sealed. It's done. It's a done deal. But he's just creating this relationship because he's coming and he wants to have a good time. He wants to sample African girls. So he comes, and then once everything is done and dusted, he goes and blocks you, or he creates a big scandal, and then you are broken up and you are left there crying. Take your time, relax. If he's serious about you, he will do all the right things. He will. You don't have to rush anything. You don't have to tell, oh babe, are you coming to marry me? What about visas? What about my parents? What about children? You don't have to do none of that. Just take it easy. If he wants you, if he's really interested in you, he is going to come through for you. And I feel like this whole chasing that we are doing as African women is so wrong. We shouldn't be doing the chasing. Why are you pursuing him and pushing him to buy you a ring, and to push you to that you should introduce him to your parents, and push. Why are you pursuing him? That's a man's job. You're doing the man's job. He's supposed to pursue you. He's supposed to be leading you. He's supposed to be suggesting what is gonna happen next. What are you gonna do? What does the future hold? My name is Rose. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel today. If you like content around interracial dating, online dating, moving abroad, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Give this video a big thumbs up if you found it interesting. And I shall see you on my next one. Bye-bye for now.